Morning, folks. It's Friday the 24th. After a brief workout, we have arrived at an area that's best described a little bit south of the Manitou region. Long story short, we're giving the Five Bogs area a little bit to time to heat up again. We're going to do some kayak recon this morning and take things from there. The rest of the day is kind of a mixed bag as far as not sure what we're going to do, but that's the plan for the day. We're going to get moving and take things from there. So we're recording, I presume. Yep. And highlights so far today, I didn't even get into the state off the highway when I already saw a bear. Basically along the highway looking at cars. I did just under an hour of paddling on this pond over here, scouting out some base camp sites. There's an interesting one on the other side that I might use for a night op before it gets too cold, because if you fall out of a kayak in cold water, that tends not to be fun. Before we get into any stupid comments on Facebook or YouTube too, all of this right here is a backpacking trail. These are people. Don't put two and two together where there is nothing. It's people. This is just, I may have had a camera failure with the kayak. Hopefully I have some kayaking footage. If not, something happened with the camera. This is my first time trying to jerry rig a GoPro to a kayak while on the water, so the plus is the camera didn't go in the water. The minus is I might have missed a step in the course of my trying to avoid that, so you can take that for what it is. And so far, that is the day. Couple of thoughts on wilderness kayaking, though, being a noob to it. Since I don't have the means to store a hard shell kayak, I have an inflatable. And during the week, I got a cheap $10 pump to automate the inflation process, because the little awkward pump that comes with it, although it does work, you kind of don't want your arms to be tired from the workout that results from it before you're even paddling, especially if you're new to kayaking and need to kind of get used to the muscle groups you're using for that, because I'm not sore, but you can feel that you've had a workout. Suffice it to say. So, that being said, I can do a quick review of the kayak. It is an Intex Challenger 1 solo inflatable kayak, which is not high-end. It was an entire $60. Comes with an inflatable seat, the kayak itself, which is pretty durable, I will say. I have had it out 3 times so far, and it has scuffed up against rocks and things of this nature, and no muss, no fuss. The inflation deflation, if you're thoroughly new to this like I am, I didn't get into kayaking for the sake of getting into kayaking. For me, it was more a means to an end to augment the whole looking for the monkey man thing. And I can see where that'll be useful, not every time, but in cases like this, if you want to get beyond a pond without going through all kinds of insane bushwhacking. But The side note to that being, if you're going to go to Manitou and get in there, bushwhacking is not to be avoided. You have to suck it up. You have videos where I went through thick pine related spider infested fun. The nature of the area, you want to get in there, that's what you deal with. But to get to the backside of nearby wetlands, such as the pond in question here, you can paddle across and save yourself some grief in terms of bushwhacking. So, not an unuseless, I mean, in new areas too, you might run into an area where you go in by stream or pond or something, and you have something to use. That's durable, but not high risk if it gets damaged. So, in that regard, that's good. The pump itself that comes with it, I'll say that it does the job, but I found having a jump charger and the electric one working off a DC outlet a whole lot easier. It takes about as long, but you're not sitting there working up a sweat before you're even in the boat. But there's that. The other thing to note is the inflation valves on the kayak itself are a blessing and a curse. They, in terms of inflating, they cut themselves off when you're done inflating, so it doesn't immediately start to deflate. That's a good thing. Then it comes time to go home and to deflate the thing, then it's a bad thing. Best thing to do, you can remove the entire valve. Do so. It will save you time and sweat and grief, because it's just, otherwise you're going to sit there squeezing the thing for a while. So, best thing to do is take them off. The other thing, when you're inflating it, the valve actually is two pieces. You have the valve that seals off to the inflatable piece, and then you have the second valve that you insert the pump into. It's a lot easier to open the smaller valve if it's completely removed from the kayak. You pop that open and then you insert it into the kayak's place for the larger valve. That will prove easier for you, and again, save you some grief.